We live in a society that sells sand to people living in the desert, sells water to people living in an ocean because it's easier. It's much easier to make a profit if you can just convince the people that live on top of the sand to buy the sand. So you get them to, it's kind of like in the army. The best way to analogize the army to anyone that's ever served is to say this one simple line followed by the next statement that I'm going to make perfectly illustrates the military to anyone that's ever served. And that goes as follows. Take everything out of this connex, put it in this connex. And in context, these two connexes are right next to each other. So you got a connex here, and literally not even 5 feet away, there's another connex. And so you usually say sergeant or commander or whatever your higher ranking leader is. You say, why do I have to take this? Why do I have to take everything out of this connex and put it in this connex? And they say, don't question your orders, just do as you're told. And so those of us that have actually served, we proceed to take everything out of this connex and put it in that connex. And then once you're about halfway to 3/4 of the way done, your leadership will come back to you and say, hey, um, orders just came down. We need everything in that connex to go back into the first connex. And you look at them and you say, but sorry, like why do I have to continue? Like, what is the point? I was trying to explain this to you earlier when you were forcing me to do this. And they say, don't worry about any of that crap, just do as you're told. So you proceed to take everything out of that connex and put it back in that connex. So what happens in society is you have a bunch of people standing around not doing what they're told, and you look at them like, I don't understand why they're not working. Why aren't they moving? How come? And it's like, because when you gave us that order last time and you told us to put it in that connex, and you told us to go back and do it the other way, it's a waste of our time. So we're not motivated to actually achieve anything. My years in the military, I learned one fundamental understanding. The military is not efficient, but it is effective. And being effective is more important than being efficient. That's kind of what is embodied by me running every 3 days, because at the end of the day, I want to be able to set goals and achieve them. And I can drink coffee, but it's bad for my health. It's terrible for my body. I can feel my mind slipping. I can feel my body being strained beyond its normal limits. But when I run, I grow, I evolve, I adapt, I change. There's a relationship that the human body has with being a runner. We evolved, I believe. Well, I don't believe anything because I have an understanding. I have knowledge and wisdom. I understand that humanity evolved on the plains of Africa. And not the plains of Africa, we evolved as a terrestrial entity. That's the reason why we have feet. The most important quality of human beings, if you want to study anthropology or zoology, and you want to really know, everybody believes that we fell out of the sky or we're aliens or extraterrestrials or something extraordinary to try to justify our evolution. But if you really want to understand humanity, you just have to study the human foot. The human foot and the human hip and the human buttocks is the evidence of whatever divine creator or creation that you subscribe to. Those are the attributes of humanity that are unique to the zoology, the global ecology of this planet, to include the fossil record. The human foot is very, 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 very much a human quality and a human trait. That's whenever they say the missing link, that's what they're looking for. They're looking for the animal that has a primate-like paw that also stood upright and walked around like a human. But here's the thing. Bears walk upright. Kangaroos walk upright. Mice, which I believe is our closest relative. I think the closest relative to the family of primates are mice. Mice are upright. And the first truly mammalian species that evolved in the fossil record are all rodents and marsupials. So from the rodents and the marsupials, more so than the primates themselves, humanity as a Homo sapien, as a species, evolved. When we look at all this stuff, you can kind of see the direction that the world has gone in. What has happened to us as a society is we've allowed ourselves to be governed first by governments. It's hard to say governed by governments because it's oxymoronic. But the first groups of humanity were groups of people. Those groups turned into teams, and those teams turned into governments. These governments couldn't truly control human culture at the scale that governments are supposed to govern at. When you start getting into the hundreds of thousands and the millions and have this team focused ideology or this team focused mentality, it falls apart and collapses. Youth sociality does not actually work at that scale when it comes to a team, because youth sociology is about the benefit of the individual contained within the pack. Somebody in the pack is going to die, so it's like you reduce the probability of you dying while increasing the probability of the whole in general, right? Like a lion is going to eat a gazelle, so the pack reduces the probability that you as an individual will be eaten. But the youth social ideology doesn't completely eliminate the death of an individual. So for humanity, we reduce that probability. We reduce the probability of our dying from predation. So within that, we created governance. We created government. The governance and government breaks down in the sense that predation outside of the pack reduces down to zero, almost zero, but predation within the pack increases exponentially. So to address that, we created religion. We created an ideology. We created the belief in a God and a belief in the divine creator. And through that, we use that energy to create divinity so that we would stop killing each other, stop fighting each other, stop exploiting inward on each other. The difference between a police force in American culture and a military force is the same thing. They're the same exact entity. The military is designed to protect us from external threats, while the police is designed to protect us from each other and internal threats. The first line of defense against defense against a foreign invasion, which is basically what we define as illegal immigrants and immigration, would be our police. The second government and what's happening to us right now in the presence is that the second government, the first government is governance. The second governance is religion. And what's happening to us in modern society is that the third level of governments, the third tier of governments, is corporations, entities that have significant pool to do a lot of stuff, but aren't able to really achieve anything. Not governance. These corporations and these financial institutions are allowed to, for some reason, they're allowed to directly cater to our children without us questioning it. Like, why is it okay for you to run an ad? It doesn't really matter what the ad is. Like, we have all these ideas where we're supposed to protect kids from drugs and protect kids from sexual exploitation and protect kids from everything else. But why is the majority of our culture built upon advertising why is it okay in economics for our culture to advertise to children that don't have a means to purchase the things that have been advertised to them? Like, why is that okay? When did we make that okay, and how come that is a thing, right? So through that governance, we give rise to the culture of international commerce and international corporations, and society is breaking down because of that. Because culture is allowed to look at all of the social media. Social media does what? It governs to the ignorance of children, so that these corporations can make a profit off of advertisement. It's perfectly okay for inflation to exist, but how much money is being lost when Kellogg's runs an ad on a television over and over and over and over again, it has to recoup that loss. And as you can see, this is all the time I have to actually make a video of high level of intelligence for YouTube. It's not so much that I can't do it, it's just that this is it. That's all I got. So now that I'm done, what do? Because if I don't run for 4 miles, then I can't work 12 hours a day as an African American male. For me to compete in society against other against other ethnicities and culture, this is what's required. My capacity to do my job is simple. I don't have to put a lot of energy into going to work and working at a high level and achieve greatness. It's just like last night when I was at work in McDonald's, and the woman that they just hired as a manager was sitting there like, she was just sitting there frustrated, like, why aren't we getting food? And we're not getting food because the woman that works in the grill refuses to move for me at the same speed that she moves for anyone else in the store, because she believes in her head that she's hurting me. It doesn't hurt. You moving slower when I'm in a position of authority doesn't hurt me. But since I'm an African American and these ideologies continue to exist and fester, there's nothing there. And I used to have to work twice or 4 times as hard as every other manager to achieve the same level of goal. But I don't do that anymore because I've spent enough time arguing and fighting. That's like the foundation of my 2 cents. The more I apply the principles of my 2 cents to myself and in my everyday governance, all it does is reduce my accountability and justification of why things aren't running the way that they're running. Why can't you achieve a simple goal? Why is it so difficult to just do a single thing? It's simple at McDonald's. All you do is make a sandwich, put that sandwich in a bag. Well, first you have to accurately ring up the order. And then once you accurately ring up the order, you have to put that order in a bag. And then once you put that order in a bag, you provide that order to a customer, right? But all people want to do that come to McDonald's is get a good quality meal, corporation level stuff. But it breaks down in the governance of all of that, right? We're taking everything out of one Connex, which is the inventory of the store, and we're repackaging it and we're putting it in this Connex, which is giving it to the customer. That's the foundation of corporations in this society. And the only thing the corporations need, literally what corporations want is they want people to come inside their establishment, give them money and leave, so that the government won't seize their finances and create a stagnation of their ability to have profit, show proof of profit, and then leverage that in a bank so that the bank can provide them with the necessary financial resources that they need to continue to grow. And corporations should be able to grow exponentially, but exponential growth is almost impossible in a society that has poor economics, which is what we have. We have poor economics. They predicted that they're predicting that the fast food model is about to go extinct because it no longer operate as a low income. What's the word? What am I trying to say? Because there was a need for people to eat food and go to work, the fast food industry catered to that $40,000 business structure. So it was able to run at profit while providing a food service to the low income and the impoverished in society. So in essence, fast food benefited from the existence of low income and the poor. That's the reason why you see so much homelessness around and inside of these governing entities. But if I don't actually run, right, if I don't actually do my 4 mile, then I can't go to work. And I don't want to be late to work, because then I'll have to deal with that BS. So let's do this. Make an honest living. And that's really the core value of my 2 cents. Why is it so difficult for me as an African American male? Now that I'm 42 now, but when I was an ignorant 19-year-old trying to operate in a society, it was difficult to make an honest living. It's difficult for the average impoverished citizen, for me, American, to be prosperous in a society, making an honest living, engaged in economics, and being a member of a labor force in my community, right? We we look at the African pyramids and we say, how did they build that? Based on what we were taught about history, how did they build the pyramids? The irony is pyramids exist, right? The pyramids exist. So the Egyptian culture was able to take everything out of this context effectively enough and put it in this context, and in doing so, build a structure that stood this test of time. We don't know how long specifically. Well, meaning they do know scientifically. They can't prove how long the pyramids have existed, but they exist, right? And so that's the conflict. That's the conflict and the struggle. So I have to run. Instead of doing this, what I'm doing right now is what I would like to get paid. The same amount of money that I make working 2 jobs as an assistant store manager for Arby's and a manager at McDonald's is what I would like to do, so that I could have a channel that distills this type of information and knowledge on a day-to-day basis. I would love to be able to get up every day and be an educator, which is what I should have done. But the social conditioning and the programming and the sheeple and all that other stuff eliminated my ability to maximize as an educator, my ability to communicate effectively to the next generation, and then teach and to teach and to mentor and to guide, because I'm not white. I don't have blue eyes. I don't have long straight hair. So I'm not competent enough to provide education to the children, which goes all the way back to the original statement about the girl that works in a grill and at work. They just promoted. They just promoted. They just gave promotion to one of my coworkers, one of the women that works at night with me. She just got a raise. She just got promoted to be a manager, right? So she's standing there when we're working. I walk over and I go stand in the window, right? Because I'm the manager, I'm the leader, I'm the one that should have the maximum authority and be able to tell the girl in the grill, go faster, right? It should be easy to say, go faster. The manager, the newly promoted manager, I don't know how else to say it. I spent too much time in the military. She's standing there like, she just exhales and she's looking at this woman, and she's like, I don't understand. And I said, it's fine, it'll be all right. It's just what she does. She literally said, she only does this. She's referring to the woman that works in the grill. She only does this when you work. I said, I know, because she doesn't like me. She doesn't like me because she feels that I'm inferior based on my ethnicity. I have to prove that, which is the foundation of my 2 cents. Why do I have to every day come to work and prove that I'm competent? Every fucking day. Every goddamn day I wake up since I was 17, go to McDonald's, punch on the clock, outwork and outperform everybody else. But guess what? Because of my ethnicity, I don't make the same amount of money as the Caucasians that work there or any other ethnicity that works there. And I make less than all the other groups of people. All of the other groups get paid an honest, livable wage for being an honest member of society. That is the core foundation of my 2 cents. And guess what I have to do as a dark-skinned American, right? Classism. All I have to do is get up, get in my car, go to work for 8 hours, be productive, and come home. And I should be able to do all of the things that the American dream has described, right? That's how this should work. That's not how this works. So I have to run 4 miles every goddamn day so that I can provide enough economics for myself to take care of my wife and to provide for children that don't even exist yet. I have an 18-year-old daughter that I'm still paying child support for, even though they already told me that I no longer have to pay child support. I'm still paying on a debt to get married to my wife, to validate my ability to provide for her, even after we've been married for 2 years, for fucking what? So every day she can challenge me as an African American and challenge me from her position as her African status, for what? So that governments, so that the corporations can sell sugary food to our future children. And literally everything wrong in society is based on Europeans deciding for themselves that every last one of us are bastard children, thus we are all kings and queens, right? Europeans have decided that. While Africans are running around saying, I am a king and I am a queen, Europeans have decided for themselves that we are royalty, we are kings and queens, and we will run the country, we will govern the world, we will profit from it. But what does that mean for them? Absolutely nothing. It means that they should be able to have maximum profit for it being alive. That's their goal. The goal of the European is to never have to struggle at the primate and the animalistic level of ecology, right? Ecology versus economics by just simply existing. They're setting themselves up to be born into privilege to where the lowest quality of life for the human being will be above that of the animal. And the relationship between economy and ecology will be something that will be inherently an African thing. But no one else wants to see that. No one else wants to acknowledge that. No one else wants to address that. That is the core foundation of my consent. And I just don't have enough time to compete against social media and all of the dynamics of what's going on in the world. So I run, keep my energy level up enough so that I can go to work and have a bunch of dumbass people telling me what I can and can't tell them from my position of a manager. I did it for 6 years in the Army. I will continue to do it no matter how high I grow in this industry, and it will never get me anywhere. And society is designed literally like what I said at the very beginning of this video, to sell sand to people that live in the desert and water to people that live in the ocean because it provides maximum productivity. But guess who needs the sand? The people in the ocean. And guess who needs the water? The people in the desert. But guess what happens? Everything in this goddamn Connex stays in this Connex and doesn't get put in this Connex. So the people in the ocean don't get sand and the people in the desert don't get water. And the manager, me, I'm standing there and I have a new person saying, why doesn't this person in this part of this department work faster? She doesn't like me for no reason other than the way that I look, because she knows as a Caucasian, she's in a higher position of authority, and she knows that I, as an African American, should be in a lower position of authority, and it bothers her that it's not the other way, because she understands that I make more money than her because I am a manager, and she feels like she should have the privilege to make more money than me in her position as a crew member, and then my status as a manager should mean absolutely nothing, and that I should make less money than her. But she doesn't want to manage. She doesn't want to grow up and evolve and do the work. And no matter how much we deal with this in society, we get absolutely nowhere. So again, I gotta go run 4 miles so that I can achieve my goals, so that I can do the things that I'm trying to do. So let's just get it. Excuse me. Back away. Thank you. Yeah.
Lap 1. Lap pace 11 minutes 25 seconds. 1 mile. Heart rate 160.
I rhyme, but hate everyone else's more. Tears. Good morning. Everything inside. For the last time, myself with you. Waste myself on you. For the inside and throw it all away. I won't trust myself with you. Everything from the inside and throw it all away. 'Cause I swear for the last time I won't trust myself. Yeah.
stop. Like, you can stop following me. Nothing illegal about jogging / walking because my legs hurt. So we'll find somebody else to harass. And down the sea, and down the sea, gonna dream. Side of me, I'm faded. I feel so lost.
Lap 2. Lap pace 15 minutes. Total 26 minutes 16 seconds. 2 miles. Heart rate 132.
Where are you now? This would be a lot easier. Excuse me. You have a restroom I can use? Say again? Thank you.
Workout paused.
Thank you, my friend.
Workout resumed.
So, I had to pee really bad, like super bad. And my wife is Nigerian, and one of the things she always says in Nigeria, people, men tend to just pee outside. So she always says she hates how irresponsible it is that men just pee outside. So the whole time I had to pee, I'm just thinking like, if I pee on myself, my wife's not gonna respect me. So I gotta figure this out. So that was super beneficial. That's why my speed is faster now, because I was holding my pee. All right, let's finish this run.
Halfway point reached.
Excuse me. See, it's completely unbelievable that an African American would jog. So, because they're stupid, they're gonna keep trying to intimidate me and harass me so they can justify pulling me over. And then, if you wonder why you don't see African Americans riding bikes in their community, African American women jogging down the street with their kids in strollers, it's not because we're afraid of each other. It's because the police will harass us. The last thing you want to do is be jogging with your stroller with your kids and have the police pull up on you and start searching you and searching your kids, accusing you of all kinds of stuff, telling you how they got a police report. Somebody called them and said this, that, and another. Because we don't have, like Martin Luther King said, we don't have representation. So they just do this stuff and get away with it because we don't have the financial means to take them to court and hold them responsible in a society, in a government that created them and gave them their orders. The police do what they do because they were instructed to. And because humans are lazy, they know they should do the right thing, but their laziness makes them default to doing the wrong thing. Because it takes the same energy to do something right as it does to do it wrong. So in defiance, they just do what they're said, what they're told. So they don't have to think about how wrong it is, what they're doing every day. It drains their soul and eats away at their ethics and morality. So it's what it looks like to just jog down the street on a decent day. I have been followed by the police 4 times in less than 4 miles by the same officers on the same road. And I've been doing this for 3 or 4 months now. So when does it become normal for me, a veteran, born and raised in Detroit, to do what I learned in the military in my community? And if I can't do it, what makes you think other people can? Like, what makes you think the normal people can just come out here and do this? This isn't a white society. This is not a white community, so it's considered wrong.
Lap 3. Lap pace 12 minutes 38 seconds.
And when
Total 38 minutes 28 seconds. 3
and when I go
miles.
to a white community to
Heart
do this,
rate 166.
it's unusual for an African American to exercise. It's strange that an African American will exercise. So we got all these reports about you breaking into stuff, harassing people, waving guns, and then they're gonna report on you. They're just gonna harass you, you know. So again, all these distractions prevent you from knowing what it is you're trying to do. So you have to learn how to just let shit go. Keep it pushing.
Lap 4. Lap pace 13 minutes 54 seconds. Total 52 minutes 8 seconds. 4 miles. Heart rate 158.